Hello, it's another episode of He Drinks, She Drinks. What are we having this time for tea time?
Let me check. We're having Pai Mu Dan white tea in cake form.
So firstly, even though it's a cake, it's not a cake. So it is more like
A brick.
A bunch of tea leaves that's been compressed tightly into a frisbee of some sort.
Like the pu'er cakes, only
Yes.
this is not a pu'er cake, it's a white tea cake.
Correct.
And
And
very
it is
nice.
made of Pai Mu Tan or White Peony white tea. So White Peony is one of the more popular white tea because it's not as strong as Sow Mee and it's not as light as Silver Needles.
It's in between.
It's in between. So if you like a little bit of depth but you don't really want to have very dark tea, this is great. White tea.
One question, I need to interrupt because
Okay.
someone's asking.
Yeah.
If we leave it stored around, will it turn into pu'er?
No, it won't. Pu'er is pu'er. Pu'er tea leaves are different because pu'er actually meant to be made with a specific kind of tea leaves. However, the popularity of white tea cake is partially because, well, it sort of have the ring of pu'er, but at the same time it is also coming to popularity because it's lighter, so a lot of younger people like to drink it, and they also have a lot of marketing talk about, you know, the first year of these. You can store these, you know, 1 year old white tea is this good, 2nd year old white tea is this good, and so
So
on
can
and
you
so
store
forth.
it like pu'er, or do you need to drink it up fairly
You
quickly?
can store them, and I think I would really say, you know, whether it is really, you know, like valuable from a collectible perspective to store them is questionable comparing to pu'er. In terms of flavor, I have found, like, for example, I have some Silver Needles as experiment. For 5 or 10 years, it hasn't changed as such. It's just the taste is a little bit deeper.
Does it need a donkey? Does it need to travel on the back of a donkey or a horse?
Yeah, okay, from Yunnan all the way to...
Hey, it's a serious question. Our
Nepal.
customers here are asking us these things. Okay, guys, stop giving us these dumb questions because...
No, I didn't say that. Hang
Look at
on a
your
minute.
face!
You talk.
Anyway, it's not pu'er. But you can store it kind of like a pu'er, but it won't age like a pu'er, correct?
So the really nice thing about them is they do actually like, you know, they're very visual. The cake is lovely. Comparing to pu'er, it's just a brown frisbee. So these are, you know, visually for a lot of people it's more interesting. Now, if you look at this cake, you got these white specks. These are actually buds. So you can get cakes that are essentially all buds, and they are very much a gift item because when you pick it up, it's like, oh, it's all white and shiny. So some people kind of, you know, like it's like giving someone a piece of silver. It's a bit like that. So in many ways, white tea cake has got more of a gifty ring to it because of that. Comparing to pu'er cake, certainly there are more people who appreciate them for its function in terms of, you know, its health function. So today we're going to have a little bit of that. And it is actually very much just like opening a pu'er cake. So you need a knife, and we're not going to be, you know, classy and have a proper pu'er opening knife. We're just using a normal
knife, and I'll do it because I've done the
So
pu'er
if you
one.
can just
Now,
show.
one question someone's asking us: with pu'er, usually you got to take a little bit of the back and a little bit of the front, because if you can see here, the front is really nice, big broad leaves, pretty to look at, and then you go to the back, like on a pu'er cake, it's sort of rough and crumbly. And I've been told that at least with pu'er, that the depth of the tea is all in the back, and the aroma and fragrance of the tea is all in the front. So do we do a bit of front and back as well?
Yep.
Okay, so here we go. So what you do is you find the middle line here, you get your knife, you stick it in like this.
Oh, it's much easier to break compared to pu'er.
Yeah, so you break a bit of the top first off, like that. Make sure you have a piece of paper underneath you so you can keep the crumbs
are actually good stuff.
because they're still good stuff you can use. And then you take a bit of the back. So if you can see me breaking a bit off the back. So I got a bit of the front and a bit of the back, and I put them both in. And then we do the next bit.
Hot water in.
Hot water in.
Just move the pot so it's more visual.
Yep, go. Just pour in.
You're tilting it. Okay.
Folks, don't try this at home. Put the pot down. I'm an expert, so I know how to hold it.
Wah, wah, wah.
So put it down.
Alrighty, so brewing it more or less just the same as any other white tea, or when you have normal Pai Mu Tan as well. So it is essentially hot water in and sort of about 3 minutes-ish. So we won't, boil you for another 3 minutes. We'll have it a little lighter than usual. But certainly it is a really lovely tea, and because it's little, it's on the small side, it's nice and dainty. It's certainly a great gift as well, with Christmas coming up. A lot of Chinese give tea as a sign of health and respect to people, to VIP, to important customers, and things like that. And this one happens to look actually quite nice. So this is, I think it's 100 grams. Yes, it is 100 grams. So yeah, I mean, you can probably get, typically 100 grams, 3 grams per cup of, standard leaf tea. So that would be about 30 odd cups. But definitely this one, you can have a lot more tea than that. So it is a really, great value to enjoy. Something a little bit different, I must say. It's not something that you can get just
having a
down
smell,
to the
folks, because
supermarket.
sometimes when you break it, some more aromas and flavors come out, which is quite nice. So while you're waiting for it to brew, then's a good time to put on some mellow music, get relaxed. If you've got one of those foot bath things that heat the feet, put one of those on, sit down, chill, and then come back and enjoy. Yeah.
So the brew is quite light still, and the water, because we yacked around a little while, so the water is not really, really hot. You don't have to use boiling water as such, but still the important thing is actually giving it a little bit of time to brew in slightly more tepid water. You draw more taste out of it without the bitterness. But with aged tea, you probably do want it to be a little bit on the hotter side in terms of temperature.
But this tea isn't aged. This tea is only a year
one,
old.
Yeah, it's a little less actually.
Yeah,
2017. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Year. Yeah.
April.
They don't have to age as much compared to pour as well. So the
really
brew is, let me see. It's kind of sort of pale golden yellow kind of color. Slightly smoky. Really good. Actually, I find it after eating cheesy foods.
Cheesy foods?
Yeah.
I don't know. I find those heavier foods just sort of clash with the lightness of this tea.
Cheesy as in like, the white sauce or balsamo, or even, if you have a...
So creamy.
Yeah,
like carbonara.
Yeah. Or, a sandwich with quite a bit of cheese in it. So there you have it, the Pai Mu Tan white tea cake. We'll be popping it into our website to sell, so that will be under white tea. And yeah, if you have any question, let us know. This is a really interesting product, and we are going to be starting to look at more and more of these different types of teas that has got more characteristic. Because look, we know you can get a box of Earl Grey and English breakfast, wherever. Sure, we definitely have much better quality there. But I think, to experience tea, you really want to go for something a little bit more interesting, shall we say. And, certainly one of these things is not your everyday type of tea that you can get in an everyday grocery shop. So
yeah, so if you really want to pamper yourself and do the tea time equals me time, I say go with this.
Yeah,
it does actually.
make your tea time special because it's yours. So
do you think it will go well if you're in a jacuzzi?
Sure.
Yeah?
You can try that.
Yeah, you're sitting in the jacuzzi,
All right.
relaxing.
We will
and tea on
cut
the
it
side
here now.
bubbling.
Okay. See you next week.
See you next time.